What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Philly Insider Podcast, where it's helpful being a Philly fan. I'm your host, Nate Tusing. Just doing a little weird, quick video. Don't know why. It's my day off from school, so thought I'd just do something a little interesting. Hopefully, we get some people coming in here in a bit. This episode's just going to be kind of a viewer episode. Excuse my microphone right there. Just going to be like a viewer episode, kind of. I have a bunch of Q&A questions that I have looked over, so I'm going to go over those as well as just the comments, what you guys want to talk about. It's not just a Q&A. I think that title's kind of weird. It's kind of just if you want me to review a sports thing, like, how do I feel about the Phillies or the Sixers, or really any sports questions. If you guys want us to change things on the podcast, we're open to that too. Okay, let's see. We've got Sanj. What's up, Sanjay? Thanks for tuning in. Big Play Slay. Yo, what's up? Thanks for tuning in, my guy. Wait, can you not see me? Uh-oh. Technical difficulties, maybe. You can't see me? Now you can. No? What's up, everybody? John, what's up? Hunter, you can change the title if needed. No, you're good. You can't see me? Oh, no. Okay, why is this not working? Why can't people see me? I think this is a scam. I think you guys are lying to me. It's basically black. What is it? Can you okay, wait, can you see it now? Technically, we have to get that. Saja, you know what? I wasn't planning on doing this. Hunter texted me. What the heck do I do? Anywho, while I'm figuring this out, if you guys want to comment down anything you want me to talk about, go over sports stuff, podcast stuff, just stuff about us. Okay. I'll figure this out. All right, guys. Let's figure this out in a second. What the heck? Having issues? Yes, I am. This is a great start to the stream, is all I'm saying. Now, yes. No? Can I get a confirmation from anyone? Nothing. This is good. Is it still black? What the heck? Why is this happening to me? Okay, now it's black again, right? It's still black. My screen is just buffering now. Wait, no, what? So you can't see me? I'm back. Okay. Wait. You guys can see me now? Okay. I was there? No, dang it. All right, am I back now? Oh, gosh. Wow. Wait, I saw you left, and then you left. Great. Okay, now... What are we thinking now? What's the now you're gone again? I'm gone again? What? I don't know what's going on, Sanjay, all right? This is just a total mess right now. I'm Russian spy, probably. Now, okay, so you can't, okay, why can nobody see me? I'm trying. I'm really trying, Big Play Slay. It's just not loading. I don't know why. It's just like a black screen, and I don't know what I did. Can we get a face reveal? No, you can't, because this thing is not working. That's okay. We can hear you, and that's what counts. That's true, but everybody wants to see the face. I got to find the... I got to figure out why the camera isn't working. But I have class. Wait, you can see me? Wait, oh my gosh. This is so bad. Okay. We can't. Okay. Now you're gone. And now you left. Dude, this is so... Okay. Now you left. This is so bad. Oh, can you see me now? Okay. All right, let's go, boys. All right, I'm back. This is a great start to the stream. Really, really good start to the stream. What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping in. Sorry about that whole technical difficulties thing. I hope my audio's good. Everything else, yeah. So this episode's really weird. It's not really a specific topic. It's kind of just, yeah, what a start. I can say it's kind of just a thing that if you want to comment anything, I will, we'll talk about it. Cause I feel like the last few podcasts, we've had a focus theme to kind of just been giving our thoughts, but I kind of want to get some input from you guys. Whether that's, just any suggestions for the podcast, anything you want me to go over in sports, even Q&A questions. I have a few of those that I can go over. Exactly. Freestyle. Like Hunter says. I have a few questions here that I looked over, just some questions about us. Oh, Sirianni's coaching staff. So for those that don't know, I am not an Eagles fan. I do like them, but I am not an Eagles fan. I'm a Bengals fan. So I think this is a really interesting, just this whole signing of Nick Sirianni, because in a sense, it's one of those. It's a smaller risk, but it can really give big rewards. It's kind of similar to the Dwayne Haskins signing for the Steelers, because the Steelers, well, Dwayne Haskins really probably won't do much. It's a very low risk for them signing him, but they could really pay off. I think it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing here. I really like that they pulled a lot of people from the Colts. A lot of people are overshooting the Colts offense at the end of the year, which really stepped up. They really brought Jonathan Taylor to life. Phillip Rivers was pretty good. They really got people like Zach Pascal and Hunter's guy, Michael Pittman Jr. to get activated. And so I think this could be really good. Really good for people like Miles Sanders to get a lot of, just different types of scenarios. They didn't run the ball nearly enough last year with Miles Sanders. The guy was averaging like 4.5 yards a carry, and Doug would run him like 10, 15 times. And it's like, what's up with that? So I like this. I think it can really, really pull together well. It could also crash and burn. I don't expect it to blow up right away. But I think the reward really outweighs the risk here. All right, let's move on. Sixers Saturday incoming. Dude, big Sixers game tonight. Make sure you stay tuned for watching that against the Lakers. I like the Sixers. If you guys want me to comment on the Sixers, I can. I love the Sixers. Let's see. Do you like Joe Burrow? I love Joe Burrow. Really sad what happened to him. I like the kid's mentality. He's got that winner's mentality. A lot of GOATs do, like LeBron James, Tom Brady, just have that mentality, hard work. I really think that's really good for him. And I think if he's fully back, the Bengals are going to do phenomenal. Good question. All right, let's see. What's your thoughts on Zach Taylor and him potentially not being the future head coach for the Bengals being the next Adam Gase? Yeah, I don't know. So I have some interesting opinions about Zach Taylor. The guy, Zach Taylor, what can I say? I mean, it was an interesting calling. I didn't like the signing initially. He was the quarterback coach for the Rams, which was a very weird signing 2 years ago. And so far, our record has been 25-1. So that's not a very good record for a head coach. Now, last year was a tank year for the Bengals. So I get that. This year, the Joe Burrow injury, you can argue that. He did win us 4 games. I just think I don't think he's going to get fired. It's really hard for new QBs to get different head coaches switched up. And so one thing I do like about Zach Taylor is he really tried to fix this offense for Joe Burrow. So I think he'll stay. I think he has potential to be good, but he needs to show a little bit better on the offensive scheme because so far he's doing horrible. He calls the plays on offense, and I think we need to hire an offensive play caller, kind of like the Eagles with Doug Peterson. I didn't like him as the offensive coordinator. Let's go Lakers. No. Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess you could say let's go Lakers, I respect it, but I'm a Sixers fan, so let's go Sixers. I'm so glad that the Seahawks did not hire Adam Gase as offensive coordinator. Yeah, I think the Seahawks are a very confusing team. They they were very offensive oriented in the first half of the year, and then they switched to more defensive and kind of forgot about either one. So they really got to find that balance. But I could see them, continuing to be good. I skipped away. Joe Burrow, just in my opinion, is the next Matt Ryan. What's your comparison for Joe Burrow? Let's see. That's a good question. Matt Ryan, that's an interesting one. I can get what you're saying. I think his draft lookalike was, I think, Tony Romo, which certainly isn't a bad comparison. I'd say I could see Matt Ryan and him being very successful, but the Bengals team not doing much with him and kind of wasting his career. I sure hope that doesn't happen. I think the guy's got incredible mentality, hard work, a lot of skill. Great mind to the game, and I think that if the Bengals can build around him, he'll be good. Who do you think the Bengals will take in the draft? Believe it or not, I think we're going to take Jamar Chase, wide receiver. I think we take him over Devontae Smith if both were available, just because of that chemistry between Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. It all depends. So I'm making a mock draft, and there's a few wild cards. The Falcons are a big wild card team, and I don't know who they're going to pick. It could be a defensive player like Micah Parsons. It could be a wide receiver. I don't know. If Penei Sewell is available, the offensive tackle out of Oregon, I think we'll take him, but I don't think he'll make it that far. So I'm going to go with Jamar Chase, which would leave Devontae Smith hopefully up for you guys. But it'll really be up to the I think the Dolphins and the Falcons of who it is. Sanjay, Adam Geeson and Russell Wilson. That's a power couple right there. What is up, Philly Ace 21? Thank you for tuning in. I already answered that one. Let's go 76ers. Philly fan all day. Amen. The Philly Fixers. I think they're going to be good this year. I think they're probably going to be the best Philly team this year for sure. The Flyers haven't been doing too hot. So we'll see how they do. Ask me questions about that stuff. Is this Colin? I can try and figure out how to do Colin. I would like to do that, but I'm not the most technical with StreamYard. That's more Hunter's department. So if I figure it out throughout it, I'll figure it out. I believe you guys should draft Penei Sewell left tackle of the future. Yeah, I think he could definitely be fantastic. I definitely want him. I just don't know if he'll be available. With the Jets I don't think they're going to take Justin Fields, which makes me worried that they're going to take Penei Sewell. If they don't take him, I could definitely see the Falcons taking him. The Dolphins, I don't think necessarily need an offensive line, so they're probably going to take a weapon if they're smart, which leaves probably a wide receiver at number 5 for the Bengals. Chase and T would be a nasty tandem for sure. I mean, you've got Tyler Boyd in the slot. T is a great contested catcher. Chase would just open up that field with that deep threat. I really like that. I think that'd be a really strong team for sure. Yeah, I love T Higgins. He's one of my favorite players. Probably my favorite player right now. I love AJ Green, but he's getting older. I love Bengals fans. So nice. Yeah. Us Bengals fans, we don't really have beef with many people because we have to be good to have beef with people, though I do not like the Ravens or the Browns. I grew up in a Pittsburgh family, so I'm a little bit more biased towards liking the Steelers, which most Bengals fans don't share my that view of that, but it's whatever. I want the Eagles to take Jamar Chase pick 6. I think, I don't know if he'll be available then. If the Bengals take Penei Sewell, I think then Jamar Chase will be available for the Eagles. Are you saying you would take Jamar Chase over Devontae Smith, or you just want him because you think Devontae Smith will be taken? Because I've watched a lot of film on them too. And I really like Jamar Chase. Both, it's very interesting. Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase aren't the biggest of wide receivers. Certainly not what we saw last year. Jamar Chase is 6'1". Devontae Smith is 5'11". They really use their smaller frame really well. They have a really big catch radius. And so I think both of them are going to be phenomenal in the NFL. I don't think one's going to trump the other. I think they're just going to be really, really, really solid. Nate, what do you think of the MVP tier Embiid is on? Do you think it's sustainable? That's a good question. You saw we lost to the Pistons the other day without Embiid. I don't think we've won a game. I don't think we've won a game with Embiid not playing yet, which is not good. And especially with even I've heard Embiid has been eating healthier. There was this big whole, question of is Embiid, taking care of his body well, but I think when he plays, he's going to put it all in. He's kind of taken that 100% leader role. Before it used to be Ben and Embiid kind of co-hosting, but I think Embiid's really taking this final step. I don't like Ben that much. I know you can blast me in the comments. I just don't think he's doing enough, and I think because of Ben Simmons' drop down, his dip, that Embiid's going to step up. I think it's sustainable, but he's going to have to take those 1 or 2 game breaks. So it's really, really, really annoying for that. But when he does play, I think he's going to continue like that. Hopefully you guys can keep up Discord. We could talk. That would be really cool. I actually like that idea. That would be a really cool idea. You could post stuff. We could post Q&A. I'm going to have to talk to the gang, but I definitely think that's a great idea. Big Play Slay. I really like that. It helps us stay connected with you guys. So I really like that. Thanks for putting that in. I will definitely get back to you guys on that. I got a feeling that Atlanta will pick up Devontae Smith. I could see that happening. I mean, with Julio Jones getting old, they're going to need another pick for sure. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. I have a feeling that the Dolphins might take Smith at 3, and then the Falcons are stuck with someone else. But I think if Devontae Smith is open, they might take him at 4. They may also take a defensive player like Micah Parsons at linebacker. They might even take Caleb Farley at corner, though they just took a corner last year, so maybe not. The Falcons are the wild card team. I don't know who they're going to pick. They don't have one specific need, so it's really tough to say. But I definitely could do that. Yeah, if you have the platform, Discord is great. I've grown with a group of guys. Yeah, dude, Discord, I really like that idea. Thank you for the suggestion. Definitely keep an eye out for that because that sounds like a really good idea, and I'll get on that. We're 0-4 without Embiid. Yeah, that's the story. And that's the thing I don't like about Ben is that when we're without Embiid, he doesn't step up enough. And I get it. He's still adjusting to the whole new Doc Rivers system. But, I mean, he's had a decline this year in points. He's averaging the most turnovers he's had his whole career. It's been, I think, 3 or 4 years, and he's saying, I'm going to improve. I'm going to get that jump shot. Now, he hasn't improved in those 4 years. Nothing's changed. And so I think it's time to step aside from Ben. And it's sad, but I think that we need to just get Embiid, and then we need to get another star behind him that's not Ben. Someone like Bradley Beal would be amazing. Zach LaVine, both are not happy in their current situation, and we could probably get them for not cheap, but for Ben and maybe a first or second rounder. You don't know, but I definitely think we need someone that can co-captain with Embiid, and I don't think Ben is that. Unless Jalen Waddle is really better than Jamar Chase, which most people think we should draft Jalen Waddle if he has a good combine. Yeah, Jalen Waddle is kind of like that dark horse. He is injured through this year, so a lot of people, he went under the radar. And, of course, him being overshadowed by Devontae Smith is certainly a big thing. I've watched a lot of film on Jalen Waddle. The guy is amazing. He also, I think, is 5'11", a little bit smaller. But this guy, out of those 3, he uses his physique in the best way possible. He has one of the best catch radiuses. He's got a great vertical, great route running. The guy is great at reading defenses. I really like Jalen Waddle. I think if he wasn't injured this year, he would be going before Devontae Smith, even with Smith winning the Heisman. I also don't think Devontae Smith would have won the Heisman if Jalen Waddle was playing. I think now a lot of people don't think they're going to draft him in the top 10. But I think if Chase and Smith are gone, the Eagles should take Jalen Waddle. The guy is amazing. He could be a steal of the draft if he falls and people don't pick him up. But I think he deserves to be in the top 10 for sure. Yeah, we might have to see about that Discord. Yeah, definitely. I will keep you guys posted with that. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the number 1 for the Jaguars in the draft. Yeah, I agree. I think that there was a quick little time where I thought that the Jags wouldn't draft him and take Deshaun Watson, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're just going to go with T-Law. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I've watched a lot of film on T-Law, and the guy has a lot of errors that he needs to work on, but he certainly looks good. And I think that the Jaguars certainly are heading in the right direction with everything. Ben just confused me beyond belief. Dude, yeah, he's confusing. I mean, some days he'll be aggressive, and that's when we need him, but other days he's just not the same Ben. And that's what I don't like is he just looks different, but not the good kind of different. And I think we just can't deal with that right now, especially since we're building a super team to win championships. He's not clutch in the playoffs either, which is a big thing that we're going to need. So I do not think Ben is the right fit for us. There's a battle between Discord and Flick Chat. Flick Chat offers more from an interaction standpoint, but Discord is easier to navigate. I've never heard of Flick Chat. I'll have to check that out because we definitely think we should get. I think we should get something like that up there. But if Trevor Lawrence turns out to be a bust, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think he'll completely 100% bust, but I could definitely see him not being the draft prospect that everybody wants him to be. The guy makes a lot of iffy pocket calls. And yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit more. So for those that don't know, we're probably going to be doing a draft mock prospecting where we each cover a specific position, give our few prospects that we think are good, where we think they should go. So I'm doing quarterbacks, and so I've done a lot on Trevor Lawrence. So stay tuned for that. Definitely going to be interesting. Sanjay saying that would be crazy. It would be crazy, but I could definitely see it happening. Sanjay going, we stand the short boy king receivers. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I'm pretty scared. We do the same thing we did last year. Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle could be really good. I don't want to pass on none of them. Wish I had like a take out there. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think as far as those three wide receivers, I think Jalen Waddle is the biggest risk because of those injuries. But it's a risk, but I think it could pay off a lot. But with you guys having such a low round draft in the prospect, I think, or low pick in the draft, I think Jalen Waddle will be a bit of a stretch. If you wanted to take him, maybe trade back, because I don't think many other teams are going to pounce on him just with that injury. It stinks. If you had a draft in the middle of the first round, like the 15th or 16th pick, I think there's nothing wrong with taking him. The 6th is just a big thing to give up if for someone that's a little iffy. Let's just hope that Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase are available for you guys. Sanjay, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. You leaving your questions. I probably wouldn't draft Jalen Waddle if both receivers were off the board. Taking a risk on someone who has his stature for everything would work for his team. With both gone, we go for Surtain. That's an interesting thing. Yeah, I think, with such a high pick, the 6th pick in the draft, taking a risk isn't the best thing to do. It just stinks how everything's sorted out. Let's just hope that the 2 wide receivers are available that you guys want. As far as Patrick Surtain, if we're taking corners, I wouldn't take Surtain. I've seen him get burned many a time by star wide receivers like Jamar Chase, and the corners aren't my draft watch. They're Sanjay's, but I have watched some corners, and Patrick Surtain to me looks like he is a little bit overhyped. So I think if I were to take someone, I would take Caleb Farley. It's really tough for the Eagles. Let me ask you this, guys. Who do you want the Eagles to take at the 6th round? Do you want them to trade back, trade up? Thinking about who's available, who you could take. People would not be easy about us drafting Waddle, especially for how injury prone the Eagles are as a whole. Patience would be thin. Yeah, that's also, you got to think about the morale and the mentality. Drafting Jalen Waddle probably wouldn't be the best pick, at least at 6. I think if you traded back and drafted him, that'd be perfect. But taking him at 6 would really upset a lot of people, for sure. Trevor Lawrence is getting way too hyped up. I personally go with DeMonte Smith being the best player in this whole draft. If we were just being honest, this draft looks like the 2007 draft. Interesting that you would say that. So yeah, I think that Trevor Lawrence is getting a little bit overhyped. I mean, he's the best prospect since Peyton Manning, right? And I don't know if I'd say that, or not Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. I've watched a lot, so I can go over my strengths and weaknesses. And you're saying 2007, that was Jamarcus Russell, right? Where he was a big bust. I don't think Trevor Lawrence will become like Jamarcus Russell. I don't think he'll ever be that much of a bust. I think that he could dip down a bit, but I don't think his floor is as low as Jamarcus Russell. The guy's got a lot of talent. He just has a few things he needs to clean up on: his pocket awareness, pre-snap reads, post-snap reads, not forcing the ball, not running the ball too much. He just needs to learn that, and I think he could definitely be good. I just don't think he'll be the best prospect out of the draft in this team. I don't think he's the best NFL ready. Unlike Joe Burrow, I think Joe Burrow was the best quarterback to play in the NFL. Like his mindset, he's older, a little bit more mature. He was perfect outside to get right into the NFL. But Trevor Lawrence, I think it'll take him a year or two to really start picking up. Justin Fields might go to Miami for number 3. Really? So they might draft. I haven't heard that, but wow, that is interesting. If they took it, because I don't trust Tua. He didn't look good. I never was really high on Tua. I personally think they started him way too early. They should have kept Ryan Fitzmagic, the man himself, in for a few more weeks. But it just showed Tua. I don't know. He got carried by a good defense, and he couldn't perform in the clutch. So I could definitely see them drafting someone. I think, though, if Miami were to draft someone, they would take Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if they'd take Fields. He definitely is a good quarterback, but he doesn't have anything bam about him. He's just a good, consistent quarterback. So I don't know. That'd be interesting to see if they do that. That would definitely help the Bengals out and the Eagles too with drafting if someone took Justin Fields. I don't think Justin Fields will be taken into the top 5. That's just me, at least on the teams. I don't think he's going to be taken by the Jets. I don't think the Dolphins are going to take him. I don't think the Falcons will take him. I don't think the Bengals will take him. So if he gets drafted in that's going to be perfect for a lot of people. That means Penei Sewell will be available. And possibly the 2 wide receivers. So there's a good – if he gets taken in the top 5, that's good news for the Eagles. We took a risk on Jalen Reagor last year, and he has not been the right fit for this team. Yeah, he didn't have an offseason, but he was injured. We talked about this on our group chat for the podcast, and I hadn't watched too much of him, but from what I heard from my colleagues was that he just was making errors that even if you don't have OTAs, off-season practices, stuff like that, you should still be learning from him. He wasn't learning. He's not evolving. And so that's a dangerous thing. I'm going to be interested to see what Nick and his coaching staff do with Jalen Reagor. The guy needs to evolve a lot this off-season in order to be, a good wide receiver. But it was a big risk. And obviously it bit you guys in the butt with not taking Justin Jefferson. But that said, the draft is, you never know if you're taking the next Patrick Mahomes or if you're taking the next Randy Moss, and that's the tough thing about that. If both receivers are gone, I trade back and draft Waddle. Yeah, I think that's your best bet. However, it's risky to trade back because you don't know if he's going to be available. It's too much of a stretch to draft him at 6, but it's a big risk to trade back and hope that you get him later in the draft. That's the scary thing. But if you guys can trade back, get a second rounder, something like that on top of that, and still get Waddle, that would be ideal. I want you guys to get Waddle. I just don't think everybody would be happy taking him at 6. I also don't see Howie taking that pick at 6. So we'll have to see how the draft goes. If like I said, if Justin Fields goes in the top 5, I think the Eagles will probably get Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase, which would be great for you guys. So let's hope for that. You want Waddle? Do you want Waddle over Chase and Smith, or do you just want him because you think that's when you're going to get him? The Eagles hired QB coach Brian Johnson. I did see that. I said he was from college. What team was he from? He was on the Florida, right? Florida Gators, I think. So that's an interesting play. I definitely think it'll be interesting to see how he pairs with Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz. I think that's probably one of the last coaching jobs that they hired. One of the few coaching jobs that they hired was the QB coach, because that's going to be a big position for them. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be great. Word is that he's very close to Hurts. Yeah, that would be great to just fix up, because they've got that QB controversy right now, and nobody wants to come into this Eagles team with that QB controversy. I know Nick certainly doesn't. And I think this is a good hire to try and figure out who's starting, who's going, Trevor Lawrence reads defenses really well, but when it came to Peyton Manning, the way he read defense and he got so many people jumping on the defense, his audibles. Yeah. One thing, Trevor Lawrence is really good at reading defenses, but he's not good at executing. And what I mean by that is he'll see that it's, a certain, it's man coverage and they don't have a QB spy, right? They have he'll hike the ball. He'll swing out of his pocket when he gets a little pressure. He'll see Travis Etienne, the running back, open, and he'll just run it, or he'll force it to someone that's contested. He needs to work on not forcing the ball or running the ball too much. He can stay in the pocket a little bit longer. His pocket awareness is a little iffy. He certainly is good at noticing the pocket, but his decision-making in the pocket isn't the best. It was against Georgia. He would run or force the ball to Etienne for a 2-yard gain almost every play, and it was 3 and out after that. You can't keep doing that. You got to take shots downtown or something like that. And so, I don't know. Nate, I have a question for you. Do you think the Falcons go the route the Falcons Chiefs did, draft Zach Wilson, make him sit behind Matt Ryan for a year, trade Ryan, big arm QB? Ooh, I like that. That's kind of what they did with Patrick Mahomes and Alex Smith. I love Alex Smith, by the way. I did see a few people saying that the Falcons are going to draft Zach Wilson. I think it's going to be a really interesting call because they did fire Dan Quinn, and so I forget who they hired. Why am I blanking? They what's his name? Something Smith. Arthur Smith, right, from the Titans. So I think it'll be really interesting to see what they do with that. The difference with the Chiefs is that they kind of had a little bit more to build around Patrick Mahomes. They had a great offense to just put him into. I think a lot of Patrick Mahomes' success came from that offense. He's certainly a great player, but it'd be different if he was in Chicago. So I think, while that might be a good idea, they need to build a little bit more. Their running back was Todd Gurley. Julio Jones is getting old. Their defense is kind of iffy. I definitely would be interested in that. I think Zach Wilson is phenomenal. Very underrated because he played at BYU, and a lot of people just say, "Oh, he was at BYU, so he didn't play many good teams." But dude, if you watch his tape, the guy is amazing. I really think he's going to do well, and I could see him thriving with the Falcons. They get rid of Matt Ryan a year later. Definitely would be interesting. Or I would trade back and screw with the Cowboys and draft Surtain before them. That would just get them back, draft. That's the risk though, is if you trade back, who knows what you're going to be left with. And there may be nobody available if you trade back. And so that's the risk. But screwing with the Cowboys would be funny. There was a Instagram I follow, and they just did a poll for the most annoying fan base, and the Cowboys won it by no surprise. So, anything messing with the Cowboys is certainly a fun thing to do. Waddle is a beast, dude. Yeah, the guy is just next level. He's definitely being undershadowed by Devontae Smith, and I think he'll be a top wide receiver in years to come. Okay, enough about this Eagles stuff. Let's talk about your Bengals. What's your decision for the offseason? We already know what the receivers and coach, but what about your defense? Yeah, so the Bengals are a mess. First thing, I'll get this out of the way. I know this is where I'll lose everybody because we're talking about the Bengals. What's up, Nightings? So the Bengals, everybody wants us to draft an O-lineman. We're probably going to shoot for Joe Thuney from the Patriots in the offseason and draft a wide receiver if we do. As far as our defense, it's pretty bad. There's one player, though, that I think deserves a lot of credit, and that's Jesse Bates, the safety. He's one of the best safeties in the league, if not the best. Depends on the person. I think he's locked down. We got really screwed over last year. DJ Reader and Trey Waynes, two players that we signed big contracts in last year's offseason, both got injured. Trey Waynes is a corner. He used to play for the Vikings, B-plus corner. DJ Reader, nose tackle, great nose tackle in Houston, gets injured. I think with them back, we could look a little bit better. Our linebacker core is extremely young. We didn't apply a lot of pressure last year, and our cornerbacks are kind of So as far as what I think we should do in the offseason, I think we should cut Geno Atkins because we need the cap money to sign Joe Thuney and others. We keep We keep DJ Reader. Mackenzie Alexander's another corner that we kept for a year. So I could see him staying there. I don't think the Bengals will be known for their defense. I think we just need to do enough to keep the offense winning because that's really where we're going to shine. Brian Johnson has known Jalen Hurts since he was 4. He's actually recruited him too. Wow. So I really like that. I'm kind of shocked though because the front office of the Eagles has been gunning for Carson Wentz to be the starting QB for a while. That's why they signed Nick Sirianni. I don't even know his name, Sirianni. So I'm shocked that I was shocked that they signed a guy that was favoring Jalen Hurts. Maybe this means that they're going to, start Carson for a bit and then build in Jalen Hurts because he didn't look too bad. It's a really tough situation for Jalen Hurts right now. And I think maybe this is just to help him out a bit. Again, yeah, what's up, Nightings? Yeah, it's all good, man. This is kind of like a last-minute stream. What are my thoughts on Stafford? Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. The guy, he's like a Larry Fitzgerald, AJ Green kind of guy where he's been putting up insane numbers, but he's on a bad team. And so his whole career was kind of wasted in Detroit. The guy is phenomenal. There's only 2 players in NFL history that I think have had 45,000 passing yards and less than 150 interceptions. One of those is Matt Stafford. And the guy's really, really good. I mean, even Aaron Rodgers thinks he's one of the best. QBs in the league. Underrated for sure. The guy's done with little. He was just traded to Washington, I believe. I think. Was he? No, I don't know where he's traded. Actually, did he get? I may be missing news, but yeah, I'm a Bengals fan. Hence that poster or whatever. But I do like the Eagles. I like Matt Stafford. I think wherever he goes will be better than the Detroit. So yeah, the offense is pretty good and the defense is pretty bad. Same with how the Mahomes traded. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I definitely think they could be explosive. They were supposed to be explosive this year. I don't think Matt Ryan's done yet, but that was the same case with Alex Smith. He got traded. He wasn't done yet, but they were done with him. So I can see that happening. I definitely think Matt Ryan's had a tough career. The Falcons, their coaching staff just needs to get it together because they had so many blown wins last year. Jesse Bates is a freaking stud, Pro Bowl snub. I honestly don't know why he was snubbed like that. Makes no sense. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen our Pro Bowl selection video, you could go watch that. I went a little bit off. Jesse Bates, for those that don't know, he's a safety for the Bengals, and he is the PFF graded best safety in the league over the Honey Badger, Marlon Humphrey. Oh, not Marlon Humphrey. He's a corner. Over the Honey Badger and other people like that. He's the best safety. He has the lowest passer rating allowed by any safety in the league. The guy is a stud, but the reason he doesn't get any recognition is because they're on the Bengals. That's the thing I hate about the Pro Bowl is it's just a popularity contest. It's like the MVP, the QB MVP, where you're not going to win it unless you're a specific place. So it stinks. He deserves it. He's going to show it next year that he's a stud. I don't know. You were a Bengals fan? Yeah, I am. If I can give a quick story how I became a Bengals fan. So I grew up watching football my entire life. For those that don't know, my favorite number is 18. This is a really weird story. So my favorite number is 18. I was about 8 years old, and I started watching Peyton Manning. Loved Peyton Manning, one of my favorite players. Tony Dungy, great guy. So I was a Colts fan for a few years. And then my favorite position switched to wide receiver. So I started watching people like Reggie Wayne on the Colts, Andre Johnson on the Texans, Chad Ochocinco on the Bengals, and wide receiver became my new favorite position. And in 2011, the Bengals used their first-round pick to draft a guy named A.J. Green, who became number 18. And I already know the Bengals were because of Chad Ochocinco. And so I started rooting for the Bengals. And so the main reason I'm a Bengals fan to this day is because of A.J. Green. I agree with you. He makes these ridiculous throws, and yeah, some of the best throws I've ever seen were from him. I really feel bad for Matt Stafford. I'm happy he's not there anymore. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but I hope to see him shine and get the recognition he deserves because that guy can play for sure. Zach Wilson over Fields, you believe that? Here's my thing. I think it's really tough to pick between two different quarterbacks when their college experiences were so different. Zach Wilson and Justin Fields. Justin Fields has been phenomenal for a few years. He got them to the semifinals last year. This year to the championship. And he's been pretty consistent. The thing about Justin Fields is that I don't think he has anything crazy in his book. I think that he has, some good. He's pretty consistent, but he has nothing crazy. Zach Wilson had one good year, one meh year. But the things that he showed this year are certainly phenomenal. Let me say this. I think Zach Wilson has the potential to be better than Justin Fields, but I think Justin Fields is going to be more consistent and is the better option if you want to stay safe. He's the safe bet that he'll be good in the NFL, but Zach Wilson has the higher ceiling. That's what I'm going to say here. Underrated in my book, yeah. Nate, Kyle Trask is basically Wentz 2.0, a big QB who can really throw the ball around the field, and Brian Johnson knows how to work with QBs like that. Okay, I forgot Kyle Trask was at Miami, so maybe that was a good choice then. Kyle Trask, I think he certainly had an impressive year. No way he was going to win the Heisman, but I think that he Kyle Trask, certainly did good, and I think a lot of that is to Brian Johnson there. So I could definitely. So you guys are thinking that the Wentz will be the main QB there, even with that, because I'm not too sure. Okay, but hey, we'll see. Time will tell. I would expect this for the Eagles. I would say either they blow up or they do about the same this year. That's my bold prediction. We'll go way back or way down the road in depth, but that's just my bold prediction. By the way, how many sacks, interceptions did Jesse Bates have? Jesse Bates had 3 interceptions and 0 sacks. People might say that's not much of a statistic. The guy, though, he had 15 pass deflects, like below 60% completion percentage, over 100 tackles. So while his sacks weren't the best, the guy gets around. And one thing I like about Jesse Bates is that he reads the QB very well, and he'll break up plays in a heartbeat. And that's why I think he's one of the best. He's really good at reading the quarterback. He doesn't come in much. The Bengals don't call much blitzes with the safety coming in. And that's why he doesn't have many sacks. But that's, he has other things. Do you think Scoff will start with the Rams next year? I did see that they're going to be testing between him and Wolford. I think a big thing is going to be if Wolford's 100% coming back. Definitely going to be interesting to see how that is. And Jared Goff is very inconsistent. I think they're going to give Jared Goff a few games, and if he doesn't show up, he's gone. He definitely was overpaid. They definitely should get rid of him to get rid of that cap space. But then again, I don't know how consistent Wolford is either. I would like to see him do well there, but it's going to be very weird to see. Super Bowl predictions. Good question. I'm going to do Chiefs 28, Buccaneers 21. And the reason for that is because Patrick Mahomes has Andy Reid. The two of them, their chemistry is phenomenal. Tom Brady doesn't have much chemistry with Bruce Arians. And while Tom Brady's been carrying this team on his back with coaching, I don't think that can carry them through the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are going to get ahead, and the Buccaneers can play from behind for sure, but their defense is going to get really tired out, and I think it's going to be too much of a lead for the Buccaneers to come back. Ripped Lions 2009 to 2021. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be doing much for the next few years, but we'll see. And yeah, Matt Stafford is a beast. This is exactly what I see with the quarterback this year. Taylor John Lawrence, Burrow, clear-cut number 1 pick. Fields, consistent teams want him to Justin Herbert, Zach Wilson. Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think Trevor Lawrence is definitely going to go to that number 1. I wouldn't say he's the same as Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is a little bit better for the NFL than Trevor Lawrence, but I think, like you said, it's just a clear-cut number 1 for Trevor Lawrence. And then there's some inconsistent, the Justin Fields. People want a consistent Justin Fields, kind of like, Tua, Justin Herbert. I think Tua is more of like a Zach Wilson because he's more of the risk because he was injured, and Zach Wilson's kind of a risk. And Justin Fields is kind of like Justin Herbert, that consistency. So I get the teams like, there's a lot of teams that could take Justin Fields, and that's the thing that's confusing. If he goes in the top 5, though, I think we'll be you'll see Zach Wilson go a little bit later. I don't think they're going to go like 1, 2, 3 or something like that. I think it'll be like 1, maybe someone 4, 3, and then like 8 or 9. So it'll be interesting to see what happens though. But another good QB core this year in the draft. That's pretty much there always is. But yeah, predictions for the AFC North. What do you? Before I read this one, well, what do you guys think about the QB situation? Where do you think each player is going to go in the draft, and how late? If there's still going to be a team that trades up or not. Predictions for the AFC North next year: will OBJ remain in Cleveland? I don't believe so. I think OBJ's days are numbered in Cleveland. He played horribly with Baker, and as much as it's like Baker played a lot better without OBJ. So I don't think OBJ will be remaining in Cleveland. As far as the predictions, the Steelers are going to decline, the Ravens are going to decline, and the Browns are going to excel, as well as the Bengals. I would go Browns 1, Ravens 2. Browns maybe 12-4, maybe 11-5. Ravens 10-6. Steelers and Bengals going somewhere around 8-8, 7-9, 6-10. I don't see the Steelers being able to have their defense carry them. Now, let me say this: if the Steelers draft well, I think they can continue to stay on top. But if they stick with Big Ben, no, they're Big Ben. I love Big Ben, but they're not going anywhere. And the Bengals just are continuing to rise up. They're not. Yeah, I think that the Steelers are in a very tough situation. They're in between the rebuild and franchise team right now, and Big Ben can't carry them there. I think Zach Wilson is better than Justin. I think Zach Wilson has the potential to be better because, again, he plays in the BYU. He plays for BYU. There's a very tough, very confusing way to read quarterbacks, and that's why I'm saying he definitely looks better, but he's playing worse teams. But that doesn't mean he's not gonna, he's better or worse. I think that. He has the potential to be better than Justin Fields. I just think that Justin Fields is a more safe bet. Like, he's going to be this. Zach Wilson could be really good, or he could, kind of dip down a bit. Triple S, what is up coming into the squad, the stream? Welcome. Could you expand on why you think Joe Burrow is better than Lawrence for the NFL? Oh, yeah. So Joe Burrow, he's had a very interesting college career. He learned a lot of things, he matured a lot of patience. And then he came into the LSU and got that starting job, and he just blew up that year. And I think, just watching how he played, the guy knows what he needs to improve on. He tackles it. He doesn't let ego get in the way. He's a winner. He's got that mindset. And coming into the NFL, I think he was the most ready because of that maturity in that time. That he had where he was getting replaced in Ohio State, moved to LSU. He's like, I'm going to start here. And he just played the best he could. He doesn't care about the situation around him. The guy was just at a higher level mentally than Trevor Lawrence. I'd say Trevor Lawrence is a better athlete than Joe Burrow for sure, but he's younger, not as mature, not as experienced, not as ready for the NFL because it's a big jump between the two. And Trevor Lawrence is going to get eaten alive if he just keeps scrambling and dumping it off to his running back every single play. That's not going to get you anywhere. And so I think he needs to work on developing that. But as you've seen through years, he was doing these same mistakes last year too, Trevor Lawrence was. He's doing the same thing he's doing this year. He needs to work on improving himself. And I think it's hard for him to think he needs to improve on himself when the entire NFL fan base is saying that he's the best prospect. It gets to his head, his ego. All right, so Patrick Mahomes, best QB in the NFL. Do you think his pass catching options help him by this great T? He'll just post up 100 yards and one of the best. Trevor Lawrence to me good. I would say this. I think a lot of quarterbacks could be really good in since Kansas City. Definitely. But I think that Patrick Mahomes turns up the notch a little bit more. Putting up 50 touchdowns, 5,000 passing yards over the last few years was incredible. The guy has a heck of an arm. He's great at scrambling. I would say this. I don't think he would be the best QB in the league if he was on a team like, let's say, the Bears, or the Texans right now. I think he would still be a top QB, but I don't think he'd be the best. I think there's two different ways. You could say, oh, Patrick Mahomes is a no skill. He's got a lot of good talent around him. I mean, you look at Tom Brady, he's got a lot of talent around him, but the guy is just proving people wrong in Tampa Bay. He's got a lot of talent around him, but he still is putting up insane numbers. And I don't think many people could do what he's doing there. I think that's the same case for Kansas City. I think a lot of people could be successful in Kansas City, but not doing what Patrick Mahomes is doing. So I would say he's the best QB in the NFL. Let's see. I'd say Lawrence, Jags, of course. Why is it not clicking? I don't know. Let me click. Okay, I'd say Lawrence, Jags, of course. I'd say Wilson goes to the Falcons and the Lions draft Fields. I agree. I definitely see the Falcons taking a gamble with Zach Wilson. Trevor Lawrence going to the Jags sounds perfectly fine with me. And the Lions taking Justin Fields, getting that consistent QB. They're not going to improve. So, yeah. What's next for Cam Newton, in your opinion? Oh, that's a really good question because, boy, oh boy, I don't think the Patriots will re-sign him. He didn't do much. He didn't show that he's a good quarterback. He showed that he runs the ball. So I think that he's going to not be a starter for a team, at least initially. I think they may bring him in, but I don't see him doing much. I don't see, him being the same Cam that we all remember. I miss Cam. In 2015, seeing him was great, but I don't think he's coming back from that. I think he'll just be a secondary for a while now. Joe Burrow is a much better pocket passer QB than Trevor Lawrence. He was the most ready QB from the last year past. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's a much better pocket passer. If you look at Joe Burrow, he knows when to scramble. He knows when to not to. He stays in the pocket when he has to. He'll take a hit for a good deep throw. Trevor Lawrence won't. He will run the ball. He will dump it off he will scramble and throw it into a bad contested place. So I agree with you. I think Trevor Lawrence will certainly develop a little bit better. He's got the more raw talent, but Joe Burrow just has the better mentality. I agree. I love Joe Burrow. I may be a little bit biased since, being a Bengals fan, but that's just what I saw even before we drafted him. Yo, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate coming down. Ask questions if you want. That's what I'm doing right now. Triple S. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Love to have you all on. Thank you so much for the support of this stream so far. I kind of just did this for a little bit, and you guys have been lighting it up. Big Play Slay for sure. Everybody coming in, thank you so much for talking. Leave your comments, questions, even if you want to talk about anything, I'll talk about it. This is just to connect with you guys for sure. A lot of people think that Penei Sewell, if I'm butchering the pronunciation, my bad. That's just how I pronounce it. Is potentially the best player in this draft. What are your thoughts on this? Yeah, I agree. I think he's better than Trevor Lawrence. Now, it's hard to compare an offensive lineman against a quarterback. But Penei is just dominating at offense. I think he's left tackle. And he has, if you guys know, there's great offensive linemen coming out of college that were going to be great. Like Joe Thomas, Andrew Whitworth, Jason Peters. These people were projected to be good. And what did they do? They were some of the best offensive linemen in the league. So I think that Penei Sewell is going to be one of the best offensive linemen in this draft, in the past drafts for the next few years. He's going to be amazing. The guys can do it all, pass blocking, run blocking. He's really good, very talented. I hope the Bengals get him, but who knows if he'll fall that far, Where do you guys think Swell's going to? I think he's going to maybe the Jets, or if he falls farther, maybe the Falcons, but I'm hoping the Bengals can get him. Cheeky one, worst NFL stadium in your opinion? That's a good question. I've actually been to a good amount of football stadiums. I would say before the Chargers and Rams Stadium, I'd say the Chargers, but they got a really nice one now. As far as the worst, I would say the Giants and Jets Stadium, MetLife Stadium. While it is nice, it's not I'm going to go with that, MetLife Stadium, because it's just dangerous. You saw what happened to the 49ers. It took out half their team, and it's not even a very good location. It's nowhere near the city. It's not indoor. The turf is horrible. So I'm going to go with MetLife Stadium for both of those teams. Your favorite NFL podcast or shows on YouTube? I really like the Packcast. It's a Packers podcast, but they do more than just the Packers. It's kind of like us, how we do Philly Insider podcast. But we talk more to just Philly teams, you know. And he's the same way. I really like his takes. I watch a lot of Pat McAfee. Love his takes. A lot of ESPN. I do watch Colin Cowherd, mainly just to roast him because of his horrible takes, and I love seeing him get eaten alive by other analysts because his takes are so bad. As far as other ones, that's tough. I watch a lot of Bengals podcasts. There's a guy named Houday Nation. He does some really good Bengals stuff. And of course, come on, Philly Insider Podcast, best podcast around, you know? How about you guys? What do you guys watch? You know, Big Play Slay. I guess this is a stopping point. Thank you so much for stopping in, Big Play Slay. You were being very active in the chat today. I appreciate it so much. Thanks for a lot of great questions. I really appreciate it. Since we're a little bit of pause right now with questions and stuff, I think this would be a time for me to talk about our little giveaway we're doing. So we, on our Instagram, if you guys don't follow us, Philly Insider Podcast on Instagram, we have about 1.1 thousand followers there. And so we're trying to figure out how to mix up those with our YouTubers, because we have about 300 viewers or subscribers here on the YouTube channel. So we want to kind of get the two families together. So we're going to be doing a giveaway for a signed Miles Sanders Penn State card. Nate Rossi is really working on that. If you guys know Nate Rossi on the podcast, he's going to be taking care of that. So if you haven't followed our Instagram, follow our Instagram, because we're going to be posting how to enter the giveaway to get that stuff. And we're going to be doing some other stuff too. So check that out. Thank you again, though, for the support. I mean, you guys have been blowing us up. It's crazy. Thank you so much for everything. We're almost at 300 subscribers, 1,100. So I really appreciate it, guys. I really do. And of course, we're doing right now, if you're just joining in, just a quick Q&A about sports, about podcasts, about me, whatever you guys want to do. I'm here to talk about it. As a Bengals fan, do you ever wish for an ownership change? Maybe get an indoor practice facility? Yeah, I do. Mike Brown, one of the worst owners in the league, worse than a lot of people. The guy is cheapskate. He's horrible at he's very stubborn. I mean, we stuck with Marvin Lewis for way too many years, Andy Dalton, and he's cheap. He doesn't spend money. We don't have an indoor facility. I definitely do hope for ownership change. However, I don't think it's going to stay in the Brown family, which sucks because his daughters and sons aren't the smartest either. They're part of the front office, and we have a horrible front office. So I would love to see an office change, but I don't see it happening, unfortunately. But hey, you never know what's going to happen. You know, maybe we get lucky here, and I don't know, someone buys us out and saves us. But yeah, it's horrible. It's insane that that's the case. I have a few Q&A questions just so you guys kind of get a little bit more about us. How did we meet? Us Bengals fan or us Philly Insider. How did everybody meet? We met. Actually, I'll type the comment so you guys can see it. We all meet so you guys can know what question I'm answering. And I see yours, so I will answer in a second. So how did we all meet? So Sanjay, Hunter, Dan, Ian, and I, we all went to high school together. And we kind of just all came together at the end of high school, talked about we'd have lunch together. Ian and I would get in some of the most heated debates over the stupidest things. And everybody loved watching them. So that's kind of how we got this whole podcast thing. If you guys want to see a debate between me and Ian, it's really quite the sight. It's very entertaining. We'd love to go do those with you guys. And then we met Nate Rossi. I knew him. I actually went to elementary school with him, and then we reconnected with them here. So that's how we all came together. Thoughts on the Jaguars acquiring Urban Meyer? Do you think he'll transfer well into the NFL? Good question. Really good question. I think he's definitely better than Doug Marrone. Can't get much worse than that, besides Adam Gase. Urban has done a really good job at, I believe it was Ohio State, right? And I think he's one of the best QBs, or not QBs, one of the best head coaches to come into the NFL. I definitely think he could be phenomenal. He's going to use James Robinson really well. I mean, you look at the running backs from Ohio State. They've been phenomenal for the last few years. He's really good at that. I think if they get Trevor Lawrence, that would be great. I think the Jets could be contenders in a few years. I think it'll take them a little bit to get adjusted, but the fact that they're probably going to draft a quarterback and get a new head coach, are perfect to get those two to grow with each other together. And that's always a nice thing to have when you have a head coach and a quarterback coming in at the same time. That'll really help out. What's next for Deshaun Watson, in your opinion? Do you think his grumblings are justified? For those who don't know, I'm a huge Deshaun Watson fan. He's the reason I even liked the Texans. They were my second favorite team until this whole crash and burn. I love the dude. Great guy. Followed him in college, Clemson. I think his grumblings are justified. The guy's had to put up with crap for a few years now. I mean, with Bill O'Brien trading away his best wide receiver, his best player, getting nothing in return. You know, David Johnson certainly isn't bad, but come on, like, it's just DeAndre Hopkins getting rid of Jadeveon Clowney. This defense has been non-existent for the Texans for a while, and the fact that after Bill O'Brien was fired, the office of the Houston told Deshaun that he would have more of a voice in the hiring process, and then they totally lied to him. And now that he's saying all this stuff, I want to get traded. They're like, oh, let's include him in now. They never intended on him, and they never really intend on him doing anything. They just want to keep him on the team. They're holding him hostage, to say the same. So I would like to see Deshaun Watson traded. He deserves so much better than the Texans. The guy was a top 3 QB this year, second highest passer rating, led the league in passing yards. Phenomenal guy. Accuracy, completion percentage was second. This guy's phenomenal, and he deserves more. If as far as landing spots for him, I would say I could see him going to the Bears, the Jets even. It'd be interesting. I wanted him to go to – I thought the Steelers would be a great place to go, but not going there. Who knows what the Colts will do. Definitely a possibility of going to the Colts. I think he needs someone with a little bit of passer protection, and he will move miles. If he was in Kansas City, he'd be the best QB in the league right now. That's all I'm saying. He needs talent. He did all that with no O-line besides Laremy Tunsil, injured Will Fuller, an old Randall Cobb, and Brandon Cooks. And that's just phenomenal. So I hope to see him go to a good team. Biggest disappointment for you of the 2020 season? That's a good question. That's a really good question. Eagles are up there. As far as disappointment, though, I would say the Vikings. I think that they had a lot of talent, not just on offense but on defense, and they just didn't do well this year. Cam Kirk was up and down. Dalvin Cook carried that team. They really had a disappointing year, especially with the talent of Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson at wide receiver. So I think that the Vikings had the most disappointing year. If you guys check a while ago on our preseason predictions, I had the Vikings winning the league or the champion, the division. So I was definitely bummed out about that. George Joseph asking the tricky questions. If you're going 60 miles per hour, how many miles have you traveled in an hour? That question is answered in the MPH, which means miles per hour. So 60 miles in an hour. Sneaky question, though. Who's next for Sam Darnold if he's done? Or can Robert Saleh recover his career? I think the Jets want to recover his career. That's why I don't think it's a set in stone that they're going to draft a QB. I don't think his career is over. The guy's not bad. He's certainly not amazing. He's not a Josh Rosen. He's not a Josh Allen either, but he's not a Josh Rosen. I think he's right in that middle ground. And I think this year's going to be his make or break. I think they're going to try him and see how he does. I think he could be decent, but he really needs to show that he can stay in New York before they kick him out, So I don't think he's done, and I think that he might have, a chance. Who you got tonight, Sixers or Lakers? Actually, let me check out the injury report. I want to see who's playing. We got Seth back, which was really big. I know that. So it says Seth Curry is probable right now. So that means he'll probably play, which is big. We need Seth right now. Embiid was out yesterday. Danny Green, I think, will have a big game. You look at people that got traded away from teams like Josh Richardson did last year from the Heat, and people like Danny Green, I think, are going to step up. I think he'll have a big game. I think Joel will be good. I got the Sixers. I know that's a shock, and I'm extremely biased, but I'm going to go with the Sixers here. LeBron, not love the dude. He's talented, respect his game, but we'll see. We'll see. I think the Sixers. I'm going to go with them. Give it to me straight. How are the Texans looking for next season? Do we have a chance? Doesn't look good for you guys. Your cap space is low. You don't have any good draft picks. You've got a quarterback controversy, head coach crisis. It doesn't look too good for the Texans. If they can keep Deshaun, I think they need to get Eric Bieniemy as their head coach. But their front office is a joke, and their defense is a joke. So I think it's going to see a lot of seasons like this for the next few years, unfortunately. Thoughts on Baker Mayfield along this season? Any estimates? I don't know if you guys know this. I am not a Baker Mayfield fan. Never have been, never will. The Browns' success was a lot part due to their defense in the run game. So I think Baker Mayfield getting a contract extension is certainly a little bit overrated, I guess. I think they will give him a contract extension, but I don't think he deserves it. He had a few good games. Whoop-de-doo. I'm a hater. But if I had to say, I do not think he will get as much as Deshaun or Patrick Mahomes. I don't think it'll be over $100 million. I think it'll be for 4 years, maybe. I don't know, 80 million, maybe. I don't know. It depends on, I think he certainly cemented himself as the quarterback in Cleveland. But I don't think he's anywhere near those people. So I'm going to go maybe 4 years, 80 million. I know that's probably not the best number, but I don't think he'll be anywhere near Deshaun or Patrick Mahomes' money. Why did I say 80 million? I think that's wrong. Wait. That's what, 20 million a year? I'm gonna say this. I don't think he deserves the money yet, but that's justified. Okay, maybe 100 million tops. People have been known to get paid way overpriced. This is the argument that a lot of people say about Baker, is that he's had a horrible head coach, a horrible situation. And you're right. It's been tough for him. He had, he had people like, my light's dying. People like, Freddie Kitchens. I think it was Hugh Jackson too. So I get that. He had a really bad second year. He's surrounded by talent out the wazoo, best running game in the league, best PFF graded offensive line. He certainly makes good plays, but a lot of his talent is overshadowed by his great talent around him. As far as having bad head play calling, I think that's true. I think Kevin Stefanski certainly was a good pickup, and it certainly showed that Baker can do better with a head coach that is competent. But he still makes a lot of bad decisions. He still is not the best reader. A lot of people say that he didn't have any time to make a pre-snap read when he was under Kitchens. He's got plenty of time this year, and he still makes pretty bad pre-snap reads. So that is tough, and he hasn't been doing too much. I mean, you look at what what the Browns are doing is they're doing good. That's at the end of the day, winning games. They're doing good, but it's how they're winning these games. Baker doesn't throw for over 200 yards in 6 out of his games. He throws to 250, less than 250 yards, 10 of the games, over less than 30 completions. Less than 30 attempts most of the games. And so I see that, and I say that Kevin Stefanski doesn't fully trust Baker, but he trusts him enough to do some things. He certainly did well in the playoffs. So I think he definitely could be good, but I I don't know. I just am not too high on Baker, even with all this stuff. He still makes a lot of mistakes that I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how he does next year for sure. I'll just finish up the Baker stuff, and then I'll get on to you with the Dak Prescott question. Hugh was okay, but Freddie was, but yeah, Freddie really messed up. Freddie really messed up Baker. But there were a lot of decisions that Baker made last year that weren't Freddie Kitchens' fault. Baker Mayfield threw for 20 plus interceptions. I watched every single one of those interceptions. 90% of those interceptions were not due to bad pre-snap reads or coaching. They were just bad play reading on Baker's part, forcing the ball too much. Those were rookie mistakes that he was making in his second year, and he still made some of those rookie mistakes this year. So I think over time he'll get better, but he's still worrying me with his young What's next for Dak Prescott? I think he'll stay in Dallas. I think what he did those first few games was enough to keep him there. He certainly really feel horrible for the guy. I mean, I don't like the Cowboys too. I'm not an Eagles fan, so I don't hate them. But I feel bad for Dak. What happened with his brother and just everything going on, and then he had that injury. Just feel horrible for the guy. I hope he comes back. Looked good. I'm certainly not going to be insane like that 6,000-yard season. I don't think anybody was going to do that. Most of those yards were coming back because they were down so low. But he's still a good quarterback. Don't get too mad, but I think he's better quarterback than Carson Wentz. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does with that wide receiver core. What's up, dude? What's up, Cookie Gang team? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Once continuity is established from the coaching department, he will keep improving unless he uses his own words. Yeah, I agree. I think he'll continue improving for sure. I think that, like you said, just him getting cocky, just doing a lot of stuff like that is going to be the biggest downfall on his part, getting in his own head. But yeah, I think, like you said, I think that, he's going to continue improving when they improve, So, yeah, I agree with you 100%. Should Belichick retire? I think he's kind of left exposed with all success. Yeah, I don't think he will. Whether or not if he should or not, that's up to him. I don't think he will, though, because this year certainly wasn't all his fault. Half his team opted out, at the beginning of the year. Most of his defense, and he's a defensive guy, so it's really hard to get the offense running when the defense is, struggling. So I'd see him maybe coaching a couple more years. You got to forget, so Tom Brady has made it to the Super Bowl, 10 times. And out of those 10 times, he's had a top 10 defense every year, and even some cases a top 5 defense. So when Tom Brady left, so did that top 10 defense. So people could say, oh, Tom Brady left. Tom Brady left. Sorry, I'm blanking. Tom Brady left, that's their whole team, but a lot of their defense left too. So I think Bills still got a chance. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people with how good they're going to be this year because they're getting the people that opted out. So yeah, I think he'll continue to be in. I don't know, what they're going to do exactly at quarterback, but it'll be interesting to see. Your favorite college football team and conference. So my favorite college football team is the Clemson Tigers, and that's a very generic answer. I love Deshaun Watson. I like Trevor Lawrence. I love T. Higgins, my favorite player right now. Justin Ross, Travis Etienne, love them all. EJ Hamler, great guys. Some of my favorites. So I'm going to go with Clemson. I love the Bearcats too. They almost beat Georgia. They seem a lot. And my favorite conference, definitely the SEC, just because of how competitive it is. You've got Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Texas A&M, Auburn, LSU, Ole Miss. You've got some really good teams, so a lot of good games going in there. And I just like watching their football. It's always entertaining. Great question. Thank you so much for tuning in. All these great questions. You really talked my voice out of me. You got me with some really good questions. I really appreciate it. Thank you for sticking around. Really appreciate it, guys. Hopefully the next time I do this, I'll be able to have call-ins. I'm still working on that side. I'm not the tech guy, So make sure you comment this video how mad you are at Hunter. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so let's see. We're at a little pause right now. Maybe a little water break for me because boy, oh boy, I've been talking for a while. It's been a lot. You guys have been asking me a lot of questions, and I really like that. Thank you so much for all the support of this episode. Yeah, it's gonna be. It was a great experience for me. We got the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. Well, it's like a week and a half now. So we'll probably have some of that coming up. As far as NFL goes, still covering the Eagles signings. That's what we're going to be doing. And we'll be covering them. We'll be doing draft stuff. Let us know what you want us to do in the draft. The end zone later, Nate. I'll be a special guest on Monday if you'll be in the stream. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Okay, all right. I can't. I'll have to tune in for that. Thank you for tuning in and asking me some really good questions. I really appreciate it. Have a good one, and I hope to see you soon. And yeah, so I'll probably be wrapping up too. My throat is dead. Thank you for everybody that commented. I really appreciate it. I really liked doing this episode. If you guys liked this episode, comment down below, like the video, let me know that you liked it. And if you want to see other people on it, I don't know, a little bit of change. If you want to see a little bit more of like a blueprint or a more structured episode, just let me know. But this was very open-ended. Just you guys asked me whatever you want and I'd answer, and you guys delivered. I was a little worried that nobody would be commenting, but we got a lot of comments. I really appreciate it. Some things to look forward to for the podcast. Instagram, follow our Instagram, Philly Insider Podcast. We're going to be doing a giveaway. Miles Sanders signed Penn State card. Our Apple Music, Apple Podcast, and Spotify, we're going to be dropping our episodes there a lot too, and breaking up these long videos into clips on YouTube more likely. So if you want the full episode, we'll probably be then. We're going to start to transition that a little bit later. We're going to start working on our draft prospects and mock draft. I am hoping, if school isn't too crazy, I'm hoping to do a top 100 draft prospects like Mel Kiper does. So if you guys want to see that, like this up because that's going to be a lot of work. But we're going to be covering positions. Last year for the draft, we had everybody come on and we did the top wide receivers in the draft. If you want to see something like that, let us know. But we really want to hear from you guys. That's the main thing, is we want to know what you guys like. So I really appreciate everybody's comments and likes, letting us know what you want. So make sure to keep those up. Hey, good luck on your homework. Thank you so much for the tuning in. Really appreciate it. I hope to see you around on the streams and the lives. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we're going to be trying to do some more interviews, stuff like that. So stay tuned. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Philly Nation all the way. Let's go Sixers tonight. Comment down below who you want to win the Super Bowl and what score predictions. Maybe we'll do a little shout out for the winner. But yeah, once again, I'm Nate Tusing, your host from Philly Insider Podcast, signing off. See you guys in the next episode.